We're starting to think sharp. We are indeed starting this thing because this is the Buff Up Show. This is, rather, don't know what that was. This is the Buff Up Show, episode 11. Aaron, you are back. Why are you glad to be a PC gamer?
I'm not, because my PSU blew up.
Oh, that's right, your PSU blew up. It's easy to replace, right?
So?
Easy to replace?
Yeah, very easy. Well, I'm sending it back to get RMA'd, so hopefully very easy to replace.
What did you do? Did you stand over your computer case with the PSU in hand and just say, no?
And it blew up. No, I was playing Skyrim with all the mods on, and it just said, nah, that's too much for me.
Too many mods. couldn't handle the world of Skyrim. Indeed. Oh well, are you upset? Are you upset to be a PC gamer this week then? Has it denied you gaming?
Actually not. There's new hardware coming out like every day it seems. So it's nice to be a PC gamer at the moment, even if you can't afford all this this fancy tech.
Indeed. Oh, speaking of fancy tech, how's the Alienware? Has it served you well in the absence of your desktop?
It has. I've played a bit of Guild Wars 2 on it. It's not bad. Played a bit of Sonic.
Right, we'll get to Sonic on your Alienware.
Yeah.
Which Sonic?
Generations, man. All right. Steam Power.
Oh, sorry. I thought you'd get it on the console. You're such a console guy.
No.
Was it cheaper?
All right. I want 60 frames per second. All right. This
okay.
is Sonic we're talking about.
Okay. Here we go. Has anything blown up on you this week? Are you glad to be a PC gamer?
Well, I'm always glad to be a PC gamer. Always. And nothing blew up on me. Good enough.
Good stuff. Well, you sound glad, as usual. Isn't it? I'm glad you're in a happy state this week. That is really good. We're going to kick things off with a full action trailer. Well, I say full action. It's the Diablo 3 Wizard class trailer. Diablo 3 is coming out in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The Wizard class. I mean, last episode we spoke about the other classes, the Barbarian, the other classes. And we said we didn't really find our class yet. The Wizard is something that you didn't really think was going to be your class, but now after seeing this trailer, has it changed your mind?
Indeed. I didn't really like the beta skills that we were given. Like, there were some cool ones, obviously, but most of the time they weren't all that impressive. Though when I saw the class skills in this video, I pretty much changed my mind about it. I will probably be making one.
Good stuff, it's all flashy. Speaking of the beta, which is finished now, everyone got a chance to go on that if they wanted to, because it was open for a weekend. But the feedback I got from that was that everyone played the beta, they tried multiple classes, and they were kind of like, well, this is kind of the same. We've only got like a couple of abilities. We're just spamming the buttons, and there's not much going into this at this early level. So it's hard to define each class. And just as you said there, this trailer shows off some awesome abilities, and you just don't get to experience that in the beta. Do you feel that they should have maybe opened up some high-level abilities?
I would assume so. At least the arenas, try and beta those arenas. At least show that they're doing something with them. Balancing. This would also give access to like high-level characters.
And some good.
Maybe they don't want to spoil it as much because this is a single-player game more than anything.
Aaron, you're a man who's not scared to don some cloth. Will you be doing so with this wizard, the power of the arcane?
Well, I think I'm the only one here who's been saving himself and hasn't actually delved into Diablo yet. But yeah, the trailer looks fucking badass. The skills, as Ad said, look fucking amazing. I love to throw the fabric of the universe at people and disintegrate them, so it's all good. Yeah, for me, it's looking like it's either going to be the Wizard or the Demon Hunter, man. They both look pretty badass.
It's a standoff between the two range classes, is it?
It is indeed. Good
stuff. And you didn't want to spoil, so you're going to be wearing white when you play Diablo 3 for the first time, you know?
I don't quite understand your.
Oh, you didn't get the whole like marriage reference. You're saving yourself for this game, all right? You don't want to break your Diablo 3 virginity, all right? You're gonna walk downstairs and pick up your pre-order copy, which comes through the post, and you're gonna walk up the stairs in your white veil and Diablo 3.
That is such a terrible joke.
It's a terrible joke, but I've got amazing images in my mind right now. Amazing images.
I'd rather you didn't imagine me spreading my legs and getting raped by Diablo 2.
Well, you will get raped if you play it on the harder difficulties. Keeping things Diablo for a moment. Some details about the cross-region play and Auction House were revealed this week as well. Basically, unlike StarCraft 2, where you have to, or World of Warcraft, where you have to buy an account for each region if you want to play in that region, Diablo 3 is going to be somewhat open region, which is to say, if you buy one copy of Diablo 3 in Europe, you'll be able to have a North American account and I think it's Asia account as well. But your character won't carry over. Were you looking to play on any other region other than Europe?
Well, not particularly at this point, but maybe later when I did play with many of the American people, but not recently.
Yeah, the sticking block really is the fact that you can't carry your character over. So
Yeah.
I think it's to try and basically, because the auction house is a separate. I think it's to try and stop people from just going over to use the auction house, come back, and exploit that. Aaron, do you think this will help you out? Are you happy about this? Do you care?
I don't care. I wasn't ever
how
going
dare
to
you,
go on a
how
US
dare
server,
you.
but I guess some people are pissed.
Well-
I think the official line was that they're just trying to stop cheating, aren't they? They couldn't, like, if they allowed you to go across like that, you'd basically end up just abusing the auction house, and that's not what they want.
Yeah, but at least they opened it up so you can actually make a new character, and then you get new character slots as well. So it's like a completely different region account. StarCraft 2 players are pissed, and I'm pissed as well. Because I'm like in StarCraft 2, you have the different ladders. You have like obviously the Europe, the North American, and the Asian, and you have the Taiwanese one as well. And each ladder has its own different style of play, and any StarCraft 2 player, you know, worth their salt is like who's in Masters or Grandmasters will generally have an account for each region. You know, to practice different styles of play.
Well,
So they're really pissed off. Like, Av, do you think we'll see this in Heart of the Swarm?
I'm thinking they did this because of StarCraft. They probably saw that people actually wanted this, and they tried it on here. And it felt like it was already too late for for StarCraft itself. If they started changing things now, I'm guessing there would be like a freaking week maintenance to sort things out.
Yeah.
Probably longer.
Well, maybe Heart of the Swarm.
Maybe, but I wouldn't bet on that.
Don't bank on it. Don't bank on it. Okay. All right, Av. We'll move on to another topic of yours. It is League of Legends. I know you've been playing all week because you love the game so much. You love to swear at it. Yeah, League of Legends. Lots of news regarding this MOBA esport. A proper spectator mode. Who would have known it? The esport that is a League of Legends has not had a proper spectator mode since it was
It
made.
didn't have a spectator mode. It just required custom games to run it. And
Well,
there
yes.
about 2 spectators.
Hence the word proper.
Mhm.
So what does this new spectator mode actually give us? Go on, tell us about it.
Well, pretty much what the old one did, only clearer and more visible. And, well, also it added a specific kind of camera, which, well, called like the directed camera, I believe. It works better than I expected. It's not perfect by any means. Like, it is an AI controlled camera which tries to capture all the specific like points and changing points in the game. So it keeps changing every
Yeah,
second.
they will always capture the most significant action on screen at the time.
It will always capture the significant thing according to the camera,
Yeah,
which does not always have to be the most important thing.
yeah.
It can be slightly annoying, but it's better than just blindly looking at it. I think this may be good for not spectators, casters, to breed new casters into the League of Legends community, because we have very few of them. And in all fairness, they're not as good as StarCraft 2 ones.
Yeah, casting in StarCraft 2 is massive. There are so many casters, and it's just so easy. You just go on YouTube. There's so many. Obviously, you have all the well-known ones. You have unknown
plenty
ones
of
as well.
replays.
Yeah, because replays are exactly. Do we don't have replay? You sort of have replays in League of Legends, don't you? Is that
Yeah,
like another custom
problem
thing?
with the replays in League of Legends is that you can only view one side.
Yeah, so you don't have like in StarCraft 2. You can manipulate the map. You can see it from one team's point of view. You can see it from the other team's point of view. You can see it from both teams' point of view. So yes, it's still got a bit to be desired there. Am I correct in saying that you can go in and watch the top players as they're playing now, but with a 3-minute delay?
Yes, to some degree, yeah. There has been like there are pretty much up to 5 featured games at any given time. Problem is, when it launched, Riot tried to open it up with an event on EU and on EU West and EU Northeast. They had 2 pro teams dishing at each other at 1900 hours yesterday, I think. And the problem is the system overloaded, and nobody was able to actually spectate that game. So it seems like they kind of stress tested it badly. They didn't anticipate so many people in one single game causing this much problems.
Well, it's crazy, isn't it? Because everyone watches it like on a 3-minute delay, and it's open to the community. It's not like StarCraft 2 where you have to be invited in to watch it. This is kind of like an in-game stream almost, isn't it? Yeah, so they're looking to do new stuff there. We'll move on to some other League of Legends news. It's League of Legends Season 2 has announced. And, you know, I heard rumours a few months ago that League of Legends is massive in Korea. It's actually bigger than StarCraft. I don't know if that's true. I've heard it from a couple of sources now, but you know I hear it with I take that with a bit of salt. But this is a massive prize pool. There's going to be a $5 million prize pool, with the winner taking home $3 million. And to put that in perspective, generally in StarCraft 2, the prize pool is for the winner is $10,000, $20,000, if that. But $3 million is this insane?
Is it? I'm thinking they will get it back soon enough. Just with revenues and all that.
Well, yeah, but is League of Legends in that state where they can make millionaires out of their winners? This is crazy.
Sure as hell want to try.
Aaron,
I think they're making a bold move here.
Yeah, Aaron, you're like you watch esports with the fighting games, specifically Street Fighter. Like, what do you know? What the sort of prize pool is there?
It's not 3 fucking million.
Exactly. Even in StarCraft 2, it's not 3 million. It's crazy. Like most people in esports make their money by sponsorship, by teams, and anything they win is sort of extra. It's like, oh yeah, cool, I won a tournament. There's an extra few $1,000s and so on. But 3 million, you could set yourself up for life by winning one of these tournaments. Although it is split between your team, because League of Legends is a team sport, whereas StarCraft is more 1v1 based. I know, it's crazy stuff. Aaron, you gonna get into League of Legends? Come on, man, it's all about League of Legends apparently. $3 million, go get it.
I don't think I'm quite cut out to be professional pro player.
It's alright, you only need 5 APM for League of Legends, it's not StarCraft 2.
Well, you get there, and then I'll just ride on your tailcoats.
Alright, cool, yeah. Cool. We're going to make $3 million, so if you don't see the Buff Up show in a few months, you'll know why. I was blitzing League of Legends there a little bit, Av, but Av, come on. There's a running joke between StarCraft players that like League of Legends is kind of like the fun game to play when you're tired, because you don't have to concentrate that much and you can just play it half asleep. What do you say to that? Defend League of Legends.
What do I have to say for that?
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't require as much actions per second, but does StarCraft?
Of course it does, man. You got a macro, you got a micro, you got to attack, you got a scout. Whereas this, you just got one character.
Spam.
Alright.
Spam buttons.
Alright. Well, before we devolve into something else, we'll get back on the topic to something we all love, and that is juicy tech. And this week we had a big announcement. We knew it was coming. NVIDIA announced the new GTX 690. It is their flagship card. I don't know. Is it the most powerful card in the world, Aaron?
In the world.
In the world.
until
on the market. On the market.
To pull their finger out and release their double GPU card. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, so it's a double GPU. So it's got 2 GPUs that you generally have in a 680, but the clock speeds are slightly lower to bring this thing into line, and they use pure water to cool this thing. It's got its own water cooling inbuilt into the card.
Straight from the Swiss Alps, which explains the crazy price tag.
You say you joking? You're joking, aren't you?
Of course I'm joking.
That was right. I know. They went to mount something in the Swiss Alps, and they got this pure water and they put it in the card. You don't trust these cards, Aaron. Tell us why.
Oh, just purely because an old friend had a 9800 back in the day. I think that was the first card to try it, if my memory serves me, and it just overheated like a bitch. It had problems across the board, and since then I've just never. I know there's been leaps and bounds, but I've just never trusted the whole dual GPU thing.
Now you are a man who has got 2 580s, so you're SLIing that at the moment, and you could have got a 590 back then, but you chose the 580s. But price-wise and performance-wise, a Dual 680 and a Dual 690 are very similar. This thing's cost $1,000, about £825. Do you need this? Come on, if you've got SLI 580s, you don't need this, right?
Nope, not at all. Not in the slightest.
It's
Not until they at least start like releasing or porting over console games from a different generation anyway. Because nothing to use in that kind of unless you're playing, of course, Crysis 3, which even that is not going to be released until like next year.
Well,
at which point there'll probably be another card.
Maybe if you're playing Crysis 3 in 3D with 3 monitors at like a silly resolution. Av, does this get you hard? I'm just gonna say that straight out.
Not particularly.
Av's always.
How dare you? How dare you,
I
Av?
hear it in his voice. Like, constantly excited.
Very excited. No, I'm not really that bothered. Like there were, well, in a month there will be another model of another card.
Give it 12 months at least.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, well, of course we know how it goes. It's PC tech. So yeah, 690 is out. It's a good looking card. It's got pure water. Come on, man, go get it. Alienware laptops. We spoke about it at the top of the show. Alienware laptops got a refresh. They're using the new Kepler GPUs, which are a big step forward in the mobile GPU department, and the new Ivy Bridge processor. Now, Alienware actually didn't announce the Ivy Bridge because of an embargo, and you could only announce that your product was going to have Ivy Bridge if you had it on pre-order, but Alienware was sort of selling these things straight away, so they couldn't tell you they had Ivy Bridge. But anyone who ordered one with an i7 would automatically get upgraded to Ivy Bridge.
So what? You just receive your laptop and be like,
well,
what's this newfangled? What happened?
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Basically, the ship date wasn't until May anyway. May this week, or late April 30th.
This week.
Yeah, so it was Monday. It was this Monday, because we're recording on Thursday, that the embargo lifted, and because Dell had these things listed as you can buy now, they couldn't say they had the component. If they said, well, this is a pre-order, then they could have said. But it was really funny because I was on a notebook forum because I'm looking. Well, I've purchased the M14X. I've taken the plunge for the new M14X.
Oh my God, what have you done?
I know.
Another argument for another time.
It is another argument for another time. But I was on this forum and everyone's going crazy because we didn't know if everyone's like, why would you announce that you're putting the new 650M, which is the new graphics card, in, and not have the Ivy Bridge? And they had this really senior Dell representative on the forum, and he was like, the unnamed component, which I can at no terms talk about at all, will be in your card, even though it says you have the old component. And it was loads of cryptic messaging. It's like don't worry, as long as you order.
So cryptic. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, but he couldn't flat out say you're going to have Ivy Bridge. He just said, yeah, unnamed component will be in your card as long as you ordered the i7 version. And so some people actually just got it delivered. And oh, sweet, Ivy Bridge is in my laptop. But Aaron, what do you think of this refresh? This refresh is a new processor, new graphics card, no new form factor. To think the Razer Blade came out recently, we thought maybe Alienware might respond. And we got Ultrabooks coming out with the new 640M, which is also a great GPU, and Ivy Bridge. And the Ultrabooks obviously are super thin and sexy. Are Dell losing it? Are they too chunky?
It's quite simple, and I keep on telling you this, and it's why I asked why you bought the M14. Because I actually own an Alienware myself, and every day I ask myself, why did I buy this thing? Yes, it looks sexy. Yes, at the time it was pretty near top of the range, but it's just not worth the money. You can get so much, or you can get something of equal value for much cheaper. So
yeah, I was looking at PC Specialist today, and they have the Sega / Clover laptops, where you can custom make them. You can get much better stuff. You don't have to have the shitty OS that Dell put on it. You can go I've already got Windows. I've got a Windows key already. I don't need Windows again. And you can get loads of money off, and you can get better systems. But come on, it's the sexy case. It's that lovely matte case, right? And the lovely.
But is it worth the extra $200, pounds?
Well, funnily enough, if you're in America, if you're listening to this in the US, Alienware is so much cheaper. I checked the configuration online, and you ask why is Alienware so much more expensive here in the UK and in Europe, and they always say, oh, it's because you have tax. But even if you take the 20% tax off, they're still cheaper in America. It's just we get shafted as usual, as we do in this country. It's plain and simple. But yeah. So what you regretting the M17? What would you rather get than your M17?
As I said to you, it's not that I'm not regretting it right now because I have no, or I refuse to put my old power supply back in and take out a card so it'll actually run and not, you know, overheat or whatnot. But so at the moment, it's doing its job. But up until now, and it's been like a year because I bought it specifically for E3. Regretted that because it's heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Before that, it was like, okay, it's just sitting there. In fact, my parents actually use it more than I do, which is quite sad. So it depends. It depends. I guess if laptop gaming is your number one place to go, if you don't have a decent desktop or you just like to game on the go, then maybe it might be worth it for you. But for me, it wasn't worth the money.
Good stuff. Av, I spoke to you earlier. You said they don't have Alienware in Poland, man. They just don't have it.
Well, you could import, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's not that common.
Have you ever considered laptop gaming as an option, Av, or is it?
If I find so much money on the floor somewhere, sure, why the hell not? If not, probably though. I'm fine with my desktop, don't get me wrong. The screen on laptops and all that jazz. No, they do get heated up really easily as well.
Yeah. Well, as we mentioned with the 690, technology changes every 12 months. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve or just on the curve, you need to purchase your Alienware now. Otherwise, it's going to be old in 6 months. Good stuff.
Lies, right? If you've already got one with a Sandy Bridge in it, there's no point.
Oh yeah. Did you want to discuss
like
the whole Ivy Bridge thing? Ivy Bridge came out this week, and it's smaller, so it actually produces more heat because there's less surface area to cool it. But
it's got a better integrated GPU. I think that's probably the biggest thing. I think other than that,
it's still not good enough for most games.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's like a 5% increase over the Sandy Bridge or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge increase. You don't have to rush out and upgrade straight away.
But it's kind of cool though because this is Ivy Bridge is the reason that the 600M series from Nvidia, the mobile graphics series, is so much better because they realised, oh shit, Ivy Bridge is coming out. That's going to be really good. We need to do something much better, and they've really delivered. So it's just showing competition. Competition is pushing us forward with our technology, and it's good to see. It's good to see. So no Ivy Bridge upgrades for you, Aaron?
No.
No. All right.
Not at
cool.
all.
Av, I'm going to come to you for this one. EVE Online. Let me explain how I saw this event. So EVE is obviously this big, massively multiplayer online game where the player is, it's really player driven. It's not like World of Warcraft where it's like
bastards,
it's full of bastards and you can kill people and you can completely wreck their game. And it's all about the relationships in the game. Now there are different sectors of space. Some are safer than others. Some are trade hubs. Some are used for gathering resources. But there's one trade hub that is very safe. As in, if you attack someone in this place, you will get one-shotted. But I don't know the name of this corporation, but a big corporation.
Goonswarm.
Moonswarm, as you say.
Goonswarm.
Goonswarm. One awesome name, the Goonswarm. They arranged a military-grade operation. Where did they arrange this at?
Well, basically, they've been planning this for several months already. Their main purpose in the operation was they called it burn Jita. Jita being the #1 trade hub in the game. There are other trade hubs in each of the Empire spaces, but Jita is the biggest one. Their idea was to manufacture 14,000 destroyer-class ships and just use them to harass absolutely every single person who shows his face near the Jita region, which pretty much puts the whole economy on stop. While CCP has they have had them for ages, since the start. The Concord police force, which are basically guards in WoW, if guards in WoW could just look at you and you would die. So all those ships, all those 14,000 destroyers were just used to suicide on others.
So basically, this thing was. Sorry, this thing was basically. You get one-shotted if you attack, but they got these big ass ships that only had one like.
No.
Big...
They're actually small ships.
Oh, they're small ships.
Yeah, they are.
But they pack a big punch, right?
They have a lot of guns placements.
Right, so they would go in and do their attack, and they'd do one massive attack, and then they would get burned and destroyed straight away.
Pretty much.
They brought the whole the whole economy down in the game, and they just stopped everything. It's crazy, but the developers aren't doing anything about it. They don't care.
The developers were very fine with this.
Yeah,
they said they like it when people who constantly live in high security space get taken out of their free, like
nowhere safe
zone, and for a while, obviously, not for the whole time. The funny thing is, the Goon Swarm, as far as I'm aware, are a huge alliance which already owns like a lot of the material trade. So they stopped the economy. They ripped so many ships apart. The trade ships, mostly the mining barges, and all those went to boom. And to replace them, you actually have to either buy them, or you have to craft them. The materials are mostly controlled by the Goon Swarm.
This is crazy. This just shows like how.
Are you actually surprised by this though? It's not really crazy. This is Eve we're talking about.
Yeah, but it's crazy that it can happen in a game.
And it's just, this kind of thing happens. Like the developers don't. They, as Ev says, they encourage. Well, they don't encourage it, but it's like if it happens to you, it's like, well, tough titties. This is what Eve is about. So you can't like go to the moderators and be like, oh yeah, well this guy.
Yeah, obviously, but it's crazy because this thing took months of planning and it's like the biggest. Are they the biggest corporation in the game at the moment?
I'm not sure if the biggest alliance, but they're pretty damn big. Like they do consist of many members.
Good stuff, man. Well, it's good to see that unique stuff like this is happening in the gaming space, and obviously we're having Dust 514 coming out soon, so we'll have the first-person shooter side of things, and maybe we can go crazy with some ground assaults and help from above in the stars. But it's just I could never. I tried to get into Eve. I tried to get through that like 5-hour tutorial, but it's just crazy stuff like this just that reaffirms.
Well, Eve is mostly a game for specific people. You can either hate it or love it.
Yeah, narcissistic.
There's no in between.
If you've got somebody to help you, if you know somebody who's already playing Eve, and they're willing to help you and fund you and whatnot, and offer you some kind of protection, then it might be a bit easier for you. You might enjoy it a little bit more.
This event should tell you there's no protection here.
There's no no one can hear you scream in space anyway. Couple of small pieces of news. Steam will now let you download remotely. So if you're at work and you see a game you like, you can buy it and then download it remotely. Anyone, Aaron, do you have use for this?
Lies, right? It's all a schema, right? So Steam can make you buy more impulsive purchases.
I think that is just the case. Have you ever been at work and thought, right, if only I could buy this right now?
I've done so, but not buy it. Like I've actually added codes to Steam and felt like, well, I wish I was actually home to actually set it to download before I get.
Okay.
I guess it will help with things like preloading and stuff. So
yeah, that's pretty much it. And the patching and all that. Oh, patching is automatic anyway. But yeah, it's not a bad idea. I don't see myself using it all that often, but I don't think anyone would use it all that often. But it's nice to have.
Yeah, that's definitely nice to have. Speaking of digital distribution, EA are asking for feedback on Origin because obviously it's still in beta, and you see the comments that people. This is just a big thing saying "flame us" basically.
Go on, read some comments, Ariel. Go on.
You want me to read some comments?
Read some comments. Read the funniest.
I've got to find the story now. It's not even on that.
Oh jeez. All right. It's fine. It's fine. I thought you came prepared, alright?
So did I. Alright. I told you it was a small piece of news. Like I didn't even prepare any footage for it. Alright. Just the buff upload screen right now. Let's hear a comment. It's fucking crap. Shit, goddammit. Fuck a biker walrus. Did I get it right? EA, you should add a self-destruct feature and activate it. I'm actually going to put this on the screen because this is Rock Paper Shotgun who have the story. And let's try and zoom in on it. Yeah, cool. Totally agree, it's rubbish. Tell me again why they think a service which makes all of their games exclusive to one digital vendor and heavy on DRM increases competition in the market.
Sorry, is Steam not a DRM?
Ah, yeah, you say that, and there's another comment. Origin has become an unnecessary evil for me, much like Steam. What do you think, Av? You think you think Steam's bad as well?
People are bashing on Origin is because of how certain games were not added to Steam, and people were so used to having, oh, I want to have it on Steam and all that jazz. And I'm guessing it's the Mass Effect endings that also fueled it, because, oh, EA is evil. In all fairness, I haven't had issue with Origin. It works. It does what it needs to do. It's DRM heavy, obviously.
Well, it logs
So
you off
is
every now and
Steam.
again. Remember, we had a few issues playing Mass Effect multiplayer.
Yeah, but so did... Have you known how many times I had that issue with Steam? Like Steam randomly going offline and
Okay, fair
goodbye
enough.
to your online gaming experience.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Steam isn't saint here.
I think the biggest dislike is that we're sort of forced. You know, Battlefield 3, massive PC game, and we're sort of forced. You know, you have to play it on Origin.
Yeah,
Even if you buy a retail copy, you
not
have to play it through Origin.
In all fairness, you know, I'm in Poland. I do not actually use euros. So Steam forces euros, but while Origin actually offers way better prices for me.
That's right. In the orange corner, we have Av representing EA. Aaron, what were your feelings on this?
EA. I have issues with EA, obviously.
I'm with Ev on this one. I think people are just complaining to complain. I mean, yeah. Origin's a relatively new service, so obviously it doesn't have like all the bells and whistles that Steam has, like the workshop and stuff that's come recently. But at the end of the day, it does do what it does. I mean, it doesn't do anything particularly wrong.
Yeah.
For me, I can't really complain about it myself, to be honest, because all I use it for is a Battlefield 3 loader. So, but I'm sure once more games that I'm actually interested in come on the platform, maybe it might bother me a little bit more. But at the moment, it's just like
I think
just a low buzz in my ear at the moment, just complaining for nothing.
I think people are annoyed because they just can't have all their games on Steam. They like to keep their collection all in one place.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that was a quick news story. Another one. Skullgirls is coming to PC. Aaron, you're a massive fighter fan. I bet you feel really indifferent to this.
Yeah, this doesn't mean anything to me because a lot of the people who are like whoring fighting games these days are pretty much playing on the 360. So it's like, okay, I could have another version of this game which I could play another crowd, or I could just like cater to the bigger crowd and enjoy that there. So not a big deal for me at all.
Okay, fair enough. So this weekend that just passed was a Guild Wars 2 beta weekend. So if you pre-ordered Guild Wars 2, you got invited to the beta, and a few lucky people also got invited to the beta. We had a press account to share between the three of us. It was like 3 people sharing a bed. Av, I'm going to go to you first because you hadn't played the previous game at the previous betas. This is your first look. You're a massive Guild Wars fan because you played the original. How did you feel?
Well, it was right. I mean, it didn't do all right. It didn't do all they were saying it would do. It didn't revolutionize everything, but it did all right. I mean, a lot of people have issues with the questing system, but it felt fine. Like, obviously, there was not enough for the circulation of events, but I'm guessing that may be due to like the early areas. I've tried the engineer, and hell, combat was actually pretty damn fun. I mean, it's not Terra kind of combat, but it's still pretty decent. Like, well, you're limited to the 4 skills of attacks, but you can still work around with all those support skills. Like, I could wield a bloody flamethrower. How does that say? But
Yeah.
I generally enjoyed it, and I will be picking it up once I get around to it.
Yeah. Did you feel better now that you've played it, or do you feel like, oh, maybe it's not as good? Maybe it was better before you played it. It was better hearing all the hype than actually experiencing it.
We already discussed that this game is not finished. It is far from finished.
Yeah.
Like, there is no social interaction from what I've noticed. Like, there is no reason to speak to anyone. None whatsoever. Like, you can generally play this game considering every other person around you an NPC. That's pretty much it. Like,
Mm.
those people join you on events, but they don't do it to help you. They just do it for themselves. So there's no other. Also, there's no way of actually dueling or trading people. You actually have to mail items via the mailing system, which is always available. You don't need to find any
Yeah, I noticed that.
mailboxes. Also, as far as I recall, they were saying that there will be small social events. So I'm guessing this, such as like bar brawls, shooting galleries, and things like that. But so I'm guessing this will change. This will develop further. But for now, this is pretty unfinished. Yeah.
Aaron, you stepped back into the beta again for a second experience. Did you feel better or worse after this beta? Because you weren't that impressed by the first.
I picked a Mesmer this time, and I have to say I enjoyed it slightly more.
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, I know that the Mesmer, I don't know, they've got the whole system where you can play how you want, like you pick up any weapon and you get specific skill sets for that weapon and whatnot. But I've played 2 classes now, and I still feel like ranged pwns everything. So if you've got a ranged weapon, you generally have the better skill set, and you just run around and just avoid things and.
No, but everyone can equip a ranged weapon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then why nobody's really going to be getting in close? What's the reason for anybody getting close?
Where the melee does more damage, but if they start to kite you, then you obviously switch to your gun.
Yeah, whilst you're trying to close the distance.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, the engineer doesn't have like a horrid like packing punch with his shotgun. He does a fair amount of damage, just less than other range classes. I saw a thief with a bow and was doing way more.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I was enjoying that class anyway. It's kind of a how would I describe it? It's kind of like a clash between like a mage with all the like reflections and mirror images of yourself, and just like a general like roguish type of character.
Well, I saw like the Mesmers did change a fair bit. Like they were such a disruptive caster in the first Guild Wars. Like they punished enemies for doing things. Like they had skills which punished them for not casting a spell. Otherwise, they would take damage. Punish for casting a spell. Punish for attacking you. You can. That's what they were mostly. Like degenerations on health and all that jazz. They do seem different now.
And like my second delve also gave me like a larger appreciation for like the world events, because obviously the whole leveling issue is still there, but this time I actually went out exploring a bit more and bumped into a lot more world events, and which
I didn't feel it as much, other than the fact that it kept constantly scaling me down on events.
Oh, were you not doing like enough damage or something?
No, it was scaling my level down. Like I was too high level, and it constantly be putting me like.
Oh yeah.
I like the challenge in this game. Like I really enjoy the challenge. You do. Finally, it's not like just a walk in the park where you just put your face on the keyboard and just roll. But the scaling system feels weird to me. Like when I'm fighting a level 10 mob and I'm level 12 and it scales me down to level 8, it feels weird.
You think like you've earned those levels, you should be able to just like walk over these mobs.
No, not walk over. At least be on equal level.
And the whole skill point thing was, I didn't really delve into that at all my previous time. Some of the quests.
It's not really explained. That's the problem with this game. Like nothing is freaking explained. Like, hey, have a skill point.
But did you do many of those quests? Because they seemed pretty varied to me. Like one was for like killing this like king rat thing, and
yeah,
another was for like drinking a random potion, and another one was for like taking out a den of thieves. They seem pretty random.
Like sissy way of doing it. Like we char, just kill.
Yeah, so those were pretty varied. So as long as they keep those varied, then it won't become like boring to like get those skill points and like get all the utility skills. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to even like get enough to unlock every skill utility. If that's how it's supposed to work, or you're supposed to like, if you're limited to a few.
Maybe they will probably be adding more of those as the time goes on.
Yeah, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, as an engineer, I can tell you I've unlocked the few of the kits which gave me like additional weapons, pretty much, like grenades and flamethrower and bombs, mines and all that jazz. It was actually incredibly enjoyable. Like when I did go into PvP and scaled me to level 80, I had access to pretty much every single skill.
Do you not feel a little like, I know we complain that there's not many main skills, but like there's actually quite a few utility skills, and like trying to find
In
a
all
good
fairness,
combination.
as an engineer, if you want, you can have like 30 skills. Probably. You get the 5 skills from your main thing, from your weapon, pretty much, which you can swap, by the way. Though engineers don't really have that many combos. They got pistol, 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 shield, and rifle. But you can have a freaking mortar. What game can you deploy a mortar and shower shells onto an enemy point in an RPG? Come on.
I think the engineer class is supposed to be like the annoy class. I don't. Do you do like a lot of damage? It seems like you're supposed to like run around and annoy people away from objectives. It seems that's the way you're supposed to play that class. Maybe you can like tell us a bit
I
more
haven't
about
seen
that.
it like that, but the skills allow you to pretty much complement into every role, I guess. Like having the toolkit where you can have like a shield out of gear and smack people with a wrench. That's pretty fun. But you can also have like the AoE class, which you get a flamethrower out and just burn everything down. Or just throw grenades, all the types.
Did you partake in any? I didn't get a chance to partake in any of the world versus world stuff. But did you
Not
play
the
any of that?
big ones, but I did partake into like an elite zone in the Char region. In like the Baradin Hall, where you go in a tomb that was full of like ghosts from the first game, like the characters you met in the first game, which was pretty interesting, and the bosses were hitting really hard there.
But did you actually feel like you were like making an effect on anything, or did you feel like you were a small like fish in a huge pond?
Well, there's no real effect there, because in all fairness, that was one of those skill point events. But problem is, all those things change too fast. Like, you stay in one area for 15 minutes and you can see the same event playing. That's the issue I have with it. Like, in Char area, there's like this area where the ghosts are being kept. And that thing, whenever I go there, it's constantly under attack from the Flame Legion, and the ghosts escape, and you clear that, you go away for a minute, and then it's under attack again. Like, too little events playing in circulation. And this is a town, like this was a small settlement, which constantly kept having that one event cycle about.
So more variation is what we need.
Yeah,
Ariel,
yeah.
where have you been? Are you like touching yourself?
I am. This is the quietest I've been on any show. This is amazing. It's like you two are really into your Guild Wars too. But yeah, Aaron, did you get that feeling that the game was unfinished? Because obviously people were saying it's a 2012 release date, and oh, the beta's here, so the release is around the corner. But you know, the release really isn't around the corner, is it?
No, and anybody who's I think we've got into this kind of like rut where we expect games to be like complete on beta, because generally what happens is betas are just an excuse for a glorified demo these days.
Yeah.
Normally
This is a real beta though.
we never really get real betas like this, so obviously people are like, what's going on? This game feels like half finished. Well, yeah, that's what beta is. Get used to it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Av, do you think they're holding stuff back? Like maybe they're giving us an old
Seeing as
build
the
on the
whole
beta?
Asura and Sylvari areas were cut off,
Yeah.
off limits. I'm guessing this is obviously this was probably a stress test as well, because the servers were down for a good few hours on, I think, Saturday.
Okay. Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Near the evening, it was impossible to do anything.
Okay.
They are holding back, yes, but it seems unfinished from what I've seen. Like I told you about the social events, the lack of trading and all that dueling. Like that thing seems like a given in games now. Like, why can't you trade?
Yeah. Well, maybe
trade in the
those
first
features aren't
game.
ready, or they're just broken at the moment. They can't implement them. Also, because they got this weird stuff where you can go to different realms, can't you? So maybe that's cool.
Well, that's a great idea. Come on, that's one of the best ideas they've added.
Yeah, but so you've played it now. Does it do enough to mix up the MMO genre? Are you excited to get back into
It was
MMOs
not-
again?
be end all be all of MMOs, but it will be a really enjoyable game. There's no reason to not pick it up, seeing as it doesn't have a subscription. It will trample over all other free MMOs easily. The only thing I dislike is the shop. I really dislike the shop. Not the full of the shop, but the XP boosts.
Okay,
Not
yeah.
too fond of that.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think Aaron was not very fond of the shops. He'd rather pay a subscription than have a shop in a
One
game.
thing I remembered. During the game, I've received chests. Locked chests.
And you have to unlock them with pay
which
stuff,
you have
right?
to unlock with either a key. Those keys you actually can get from two places. I've received one of those keys from a quest,
Mm.
a main story quest, personal story.
You only get like one of them though.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
And I've received like 3 or 4 of those chests, which I just threw away anyway, because it just insultingly like opens the shop page. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So, did they actually have the pay stuff available in this beta? Then could you actually?
No.
Ah.
Well, it was there. Just you wouldn't be able to probably add money to it.
Yeah, I think they gave us. Yeah, no, they,
Gems.
Mm.
You buy gems.
Yeah.
Which you can use to purchase the stuff.
Alright, fair enough. So Guild Wars 2 looks promising. Don't expect a summer release. Maybe the prime time of winter, fall as they call it in America.
Well,
Fall,
in all fairness,
autumn.
in the first game they had this pretty decent model of the game adding patches like every week.
Mm.
Like it's still happening. I mean, they still patch things in like
Oh,
every week.
They were patching the beta as we were playing, like because I was on the press Ventrilo on the first beta, and they were like, "Oh, sorry guys, we're just taking the server down to apply the latest build." So yeah, so it's kind of cool. So maybe they are showing us their latest code all the time, but yeah, it is looking good. It is looking good. We'll move on to another MMO, which this weekend had its pre-launch if you pre-ordered it, and it's out today. That game is, of course, the action-based MMO. It's Terra. Aaron, you haven't got this yet because you're a PC, but
Yeah,
I think
I
it's safe to
refuse to play
say you're the most excited out of the three of us for this game.
Probably. Yeah, I guess that's true. But you'll be previewing it, so you better get excited, right?
Well, yeah, we
Or not
were sent a
previewing, you'll
code.
be reviewing it.
Yeah, I was think that's the thing. I wanted to buy this, and every time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Terra! I should buy that." And then in my head tells me, "No, you don't want to buy Terra. You've got Diablo in 2 weeks, and you got Game of Thrones in June." And I was like,
Game
"Oh
of
yeah,
Thrones, you're not
shush.
playing Game of
I am
Thrones
playing Game of
for
Thrones,
one
alright."
week- For 1 week, and then you'll be like, all right, cool.
I told you earlier, I sussed it out now. I know who the Red Priest is. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, cool, all right.
Um,
Have that shadow like be released from your vagina.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Let's keep things on track here. So obviously Terra is a pay model. Do you think you'll stick with this game? Are you going to pay £30 and then £10 a month?
I'll give it a try. As I said, as is the case with anything, like I thought I was gonna stick with Swatter, but like that wore out its welcome. So it just depends on what their end game content is like, which hopefully they've improved over the Korean version because it was non-existent there. What the leveling is like after level, what was the beta? Was it level 20 or something?
I think so.
Yeah, what it's like after that, if it's still the same stuff or they vary it up or whatnot. It just depends. And if the PvP has been balanced a little bit more, because it's a lot easier to be it was a lot easier to be a ranged class in PvP
Yeah,
on the beta than it was to be a melee class. Hopefully they've balanced that a little bit more. And I'm sure you'll let us know, Ariel.
I'll let you know. I'll send you a letter. I'll send you an email. Be like, Aaron, this game is awesome. Av, I know your view on this. If it was free to play, you would be playing it already.
Probably, yeah, but that's probably the biggest mistake, and I've been saying that before. If they implemented a good free-to-play model, they would have made way more than they will by making it subscription-based.
In the long run, you mean?
Yeah.
Perhaps. That is it for topics this week. I know.
Are you gonna miss out? Like,
Oh, right,
it's just been
topic.
announced. It's just been announced, and you're gonna leave it out. All right. You're
Oh,
doing your PR
oh,
job wrongly.
this is good. This is why we have you to help me. This is why I tell you about the yeah. I think this is what you're talking about. Elder Scrolls, the MMO, is coming in 2013. It's been a really badly kept secret in the gaming world.
Yes, it has.
But is it Game Informer have a big spread in the June edition? And there's a trailer coming tomorrow. So when this episode is out, there's probably a trailer out already, and we couldn't include it in the show because we recorded the day before. But I'm sure we'll have the trailer on the website, so go check it out. Av, I know you're excited because you're an Elder Scrolls fan.
I'm very excited. Seriously, I don't see this working well whatsoever. I like Bethesda, don't get me wrong, I really like them, but they shouldn't touch online gaming experience. They just shouldn't. It hasn't worked for them before, it will not work for them later. Besides, they should stick to what they're good at. Making buggy games that are really fun.
Is that what they're good at, making buggy games? Aaron, what do you think?
I'm gonna go against Ab just so we can have a fight.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna believe in them and say, hey, what more surprising things have happened. Everything is laid out there, to be honest. Like the Elder Scrolls universe, it's all there. Like the classes, they're all there. The races, they're all there. The lands, they're all there. The world map is literally already fully realized. Everything.
Classes.
Everything they need.
Classes in Elder Scrolls.
Well, they might refine the spec
Yes,
so you can only be a warrior or a mage.
There are specific archetypes which, when you play any of these games, people generally stick to. If you go and look it up on the internet, you'll see like specific pre-made classes kind of thing where people are telling you to put your skills in this.
Is exploration and freedom. Like, how can you how interesting?
But isn't that what MMOs are all about?
That's what I love about World of Warcraft, is the exploration of the new zones.
End game content.
Yes, but you have to. The exploration and freedom has to be there in the first place. Otherwise, you never get to the end game content.
Was it going to be some crazy amalgamation of all the games? Like, because we visited Skyrim, which is like the northern hemisphere or the snowy part of the world. Are they going to include the lands from Oblivion and the previous games? Do you think it's going to be massive?
Tamriel is huge.
Yeah, is it going to be like a massive portion of that world, or is it they're going to confine it like they do with each game?
Well,
Av, tell us, Av. Look into your crystal ball.
My crystal ball tells me I have no bloody clue. They can do anything. Like, I recall Daggerfall. Size of that map was immense. Like, I think it was about the size of the UK. And I'm serious. The size of in-game area.
Mm.
Obviously, you wouldn't go everywhere because it was pretty empty, but it was huge. Morrowind was big. Oblivion gotten, I think, smaller, and so did Skyrim. But don't quote me on that. As for the world, it would be nice to see certain parts like that change, because I'm guessing this will be around the Skyrim timeline, which is about 200 years after Morrowind and the explosion of the Red Mountain. As how it will work, I really don't know. No, I don't see Bethesda doing a good job there.
Aaron, anything to add to that amazing crystal ballage?
In terms of the regions, I guess they could be very wow about it and just like release each land as an expansion.
No, we can't release the whole thing. We've got to release expansions.
Indeed.
And as far as I'm aware, they're also working on the Fallout MMO. So, good luck with that.
I'm sure they appreciate the sentiment there. We'll be sure to pass it on to them if they're not already watching. But is that all the topics? Have I missed anything?
Aaron, have we?
No, I think we've covered everything.
All right, so we shall get to the Twitter. You can tweet us at official_NGB. You can follow me at Ariel Abrahami and Mr. Sullivan at AJR Sullivan. You can write Av a letter.
You can get him on snail mail.
As always, Next Gen Gaming Blog. We release episodes there every 2 weeks, so obviously you can get all the gaming news. And if you're looking for that Fallout. If you're looking for that Oblivion MMO trailer, if it's out, it will be up. Adam Neves will post it, alright? Because Adam Neves is Superman. Alright. That guy looks good in spandex. Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's been episode 11. We'll have episode 12 in a fortnight. Thanks, guys.